सुधागड एज्युकेशन सोसायटीचे पूर्व प्राथमिक, प्राथमिक, माध्यमिक व उच्च माध्यमिक विद्यालय कळंबोली मराठी, हिंदी, इंग्रजी, उर्दू माध्यम यांच्या सौजन्याने शैक्षणिक व्हिडिओ मध्ये आपलं सर्वांचं स्वागत आहे.
Welcome student. Already we have seen two lessons of science. First, natural resources, air, water and land, and second lesson, the living world. Now we see or we study the third chapter, diversity in living things and their classification. If you have the textbook, then open your textbook. If you have no textbook, then learn seriously what I explained. Okay. Diversity in living things and their classifications. In which sphere of the earth do living things exist? The geographical condition at different places on the earth are very different. We find that living things exist in all these diverse conditions. When we live in a certain place, we adjust to the conditions there. Various types of living things have survived because of their ability to adjust themselves to the conditions in their surroundings. Are the plants and animals that you have seen all alike? No. So, we see the diversity in plants. See the picture. There are many diversities in the plants shown in the pictures. If you see clearly, the various types of plants are found in many places around us. Some plants like grass are short, while others are all tall and have a canopy. Some plants grow underwater, while some others float on water. We find that some plants grow even in desert. Moreover, we find that there is a lot of variety in the same type of plant. For example, there are different varieties of rice or wheat, different types of roses and mangoes of different flavors. Some plants grow even without stems, leaves and roots. These are very different from ordinary plants. Let us study this diversity among the plants. See, there are four pictures. Methods of nutrition in plants. Plants make their own food in sunlight. Such plants are called autotrophic plants. Plants who make their own food is called autotrophic plants. For example, the hibiscus, pomegranate, periwinkle, etc. Some plants like funguses, loranthus, order use other plants for food and are said to be heterotrophic plants. And like the pitcher plant, see in the picture number 3, like the pitcher plants even consume insects, so they are insectivorous. See, the structure of plant is shown in the picture or figure. The structure of a plant. Plant structure can be generally be divided in two parts mainly. The stem which grow above the ground and the root which grow below the ground surface. The root, stem, leaves are the main parts of plants. From time to time, plants bear flower for reproduction and flowers are transformed into fruits. Fruits have seeds, so seeds give rise to new plants. This is the structure of plant in the figure. The main part of plants is root, stem, leaves, flower and fruit. These are the five main parts of the plant. See what is the function of these each parts in the plant. The flower, this is the most attractive part of the plant. It is connected to the stem by a stalk without may be long or short. A flower has a typical color and shape. The flower is an important means of reproduction. Second, the stem. The height, shape and size of a plant depends upon the stem. The stem carries out the functions of production. Classification of plants. See in the picture, there are many diversities in plants. We can easily notice the differences in the shape and height of the plants in our surrounding. It is easy to classify the plants on the basis of this observation. Can you tell what are the similarities between a mango and banyan and a tamarind tree? Says trees. Some plants grow tall. See the tree in the below figure. Some plants grow tall. Their stem or trunk is hard and strong. They have branches at some height above the ground. They bear flowers and fruits for many years. Such plants are called trees. Trees are tall, big and perennial. That is, they live for many years. Trees live for many years, so they are perennial. What are the similarities between hibiscus, oleander and lanthanus plants? Second is a shrub. See in the picture. Some plants grow close to the ground. They give out branches very close to the ground. They are shorter and smaller than trees, but they have a thick and hard stem. The oleander, hibiscus, lantana, coranti, and rose are shrubs. They may grow up to 2 or 3 meters. Classification of plants on the height, that is first trees, second herbs and third second shrubs and third is a herbs. Herbs grow 1 to 1.5 meters tall. The stem of herbs are green and quite flexible as compared to those of trees and bushes. Herbs may live for a few months or up to 2 years. According to the size and height of their stem, plant can be classified into three types. We see already. First is a trees, shrubs and herbs. Okay. Have you seen vines like a pumpkin, the railroad, creeper, kauli, watermelon or the grapevine? How do they grow? See in the pictures. Various creepers and climbers are seen. Vines. Some vines need vertical support for growing, while some others spread on the ground. Climbers, like the money plant, have aerial roots. Have you seen the cucumber tendrils that look like a spring? Of what use could they be? Touch the stem of any vines. What do you feel? The stem of a creeper is very flexible, soft and green. It grows rapidly with the help of support. Can you tell for how many years do crops like bajra, wheat, corn, radish, marigold live? The life cycle of plants like jawar, sunflower is completed in 1 year. So these plants are called annuals. See and remember, a plants who complete their life in 1 year, these plants are called the annuals. The life cycle of plants like carrot, beetroot is of 2 years. They are called biennials. And shrubs like hibiscus and oleander and trees like mango and gulmohar live for several years and bear flowers and fruits. They are called perennials. So according to the period of their life cycle, plants are classified as annual, biennial and perennials. Can you tell to which part of plants and butterflies and insects attracted? See, this is the most important. Plants that bear flowers are called flowering plants, while the plants that never bear flower are called non-flowering plant. Flowering plant and non-flowering plant. Plants that bear flowers are called flowering plants, while the plants that never bear flower are called non-flowering plants. Non-flowering plants may not have organs like root, stem, and leaf. Use your brain power and discuss or say try to answer what type of plants are toadstools and mushrooms. What types of plant is the fig? Do ferns, algae, money plant bear flowers? Do you know? See in the second box with the picture. The world largest flower is found in Indonesia. The diameter of the flower of the plant Rafflesia arnoldii is about 1 meter. The world's smallest flower is of the plant called Wolffia or duckweed. Its diameter is as small as 0.5 millimeter. We see different plants growing in different places around us. Plants can be classified according to their habitat. Habitat means where the place to grow. Habitat or the place where they grow. Land, water, marshy areas, desert, and even a big trees are the various habitats of plants. See in the picture, some plants are growing in water, some plants is growing in a desert, and some plants are growing on a land. Why does the water hyacinth float on water? Why is the stem of the cactus fleshy? And what different criteria are used to classify the plants? Diversity and classification in animals. Now, diversity and classification in animals. Diversity and classification of in plants is over. Now, diversity and classification in animals. See there. Different animals have developed different shapes to survive in the environment. There is a great variety in the body structure of animals too. The amoeba that cannot be seen with our eyes, the huge elephant, the small snail, the fish that swim in waters, a kite that flies high in the sky, butterflies that flit around flowers, a house lizard that crawls on a wall are all animals. Each has different characteristics. Animals have body parts like a head, neck, torso, tail, and limbs for movement. They have various organ systems which carry on various functions inside their body. In this respect too, there is a lot of diversity in animals, like to be plants. Can you tell? See in the pictures, different animals are seen in the picture. What are the differences in the body structure of animals like snake, lizard, a tiger, a fish, an eagle, a hen, a crab, a housefly, an earthworm, a crocodile, and a grasshopper? We see a variety in animals with respect to their food as well as since animal depends on other for their food. They are found in places where food is available. Different animals have different methods of obtaining and eating foods. This too leads to differences in their body structure. In all the picture, diversity in animals are shown. Observe the animals in your surrounding, make a list of their names and complete the following table on the basis of the information obtained and discussed in the class. Name of the animal, what is their food and how do they eat it, where do they live, the special features that you found. You will not see all animals in your surrounding. Why it is so? Which are the other animals that you know of but have not seen? Collect information about them using the above table. Take the help of website given discovery www.discovery.com, seaworld.org, kidsgowild.com, worldwildlife.org, nationalgeographic.com, and earthlife.net. On this web, you collect the information about the animals. See, in the right side picture, there is a one picture of paramecium is given. Paramecium is given. Take a drop of water from puddle and place it on a glass slide. Observe it under a microscope. What do you see? When a drop of water from puddle is seen under a microscope, innumerable microbes can be seen moving about in it. You will see the continuously moving amoeba. The paramecium is also a unicellular animal like amoeba. So amoeba and paramecium are the unicellular animals. A horse, bear, tortoise are multicellular. From the cell, there are two types, unicellular and multicellular. See other animals like snail, kangaroo, hen are seen in the pictures. What is the chain of bones in the center of our back called? Animals with a vertebral column. The chain is called as a center of our back is called bone is called the vertebral column. Animals with a vertebral column and those without it form two groups known as the vertebrate and invertebrate respectively. Snake, bird, fish, kangaroos, as also human are the vertebrate animals. Animals such as snail, cockroaches, earthworm do not have a vertebrate column and therefore they are invertebrate animals. Vertebrate animal and invertebrate. Second, name the some animals which lay eggs and other which give birth to their young ones. we have learned that producing another living things like oneself is called reproduction. A hen lays eggs and hatches them. After a few days, the young chicks hatch out of the eggs. A crow gives birth to a calf. Cows gives birth to a calf. So before that, the calf grows within the cow's baby according to the mode of reproduction. Animals are classified into two types, namely oviparous animals which lay eggs and viviparous animals which gives birth to their young ones. Okay, there is a different types or classification of animals from the cell unicellular and multicellular. Animals with a vertebral column is called vertebrate and no vertebrate column is a invertebrate. Then animals are classified into two types, namely oviparous which lay eggs and viviparous animals which give birth to their young ones. Where are the animals? Namely a horse, bear, tortoise, alligator, fish, deer and frog to be found according to their habitat. According to their habitat, animals are usually classified into terrestrial and aquatic animals. Terrestrial and aquatic animals. However, animals like a frog, salamander, toad live in both places, namely land and water. Therefore, they are called amphibious animals. Animals who live in a water is called terrestrial. On a land is called terrestrial. Animals who live in a water is called the aquatic animals. Any animals live in both places on land and water is called the amphibious animals. A kite, an eagle, a crow, a butterfly, a honeybee all fly in the air. Though they live in different places, these animals are said to have an aerial mode of life. So always remember, in the living world, a lot of diversity is seen both in animals and plants. Every plant and animal is unique. We should all make effort to conserve the diversity in the living world. And what we have learned in this lesson, plants are classified on the basis of their height and the shape of stem, period of life cycle and habitats. Animals are classified on the basis of the cell structure, vertebral column, method of reproduction and habitats. Okay, this chapter is completed here. Learn and read the lesson and write the question given below, answer of questions given below in your notebook and then learn it. Okay, complete, read and learn it. Okay, thank you.